Alright guys, we're gonna get started right now. Oh, we were okay. Oh yeah, muted myself. So yeah, let's get started right now, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Let's get into it. Don't want to keep you too long. Smash the like button. 11 likes. It's pretty weak. Shouldn't be muted anymore. Should not be muted anymore. Okay, let's get started here. So yeah, we're gonna talk about oil today. We're gonna talk about real estate. We're gonna talk about Chinese index funds. We're going to talk about the S&P 500. We got a few things to talk about. Let's start with what everybody wants to hear. Start with Bitcoin. So, I've been looking, this is obviously very comparable to, especially with, didn't get the green dot here, but the green dot on the 6 day, this is pretty comparable to this one right here. It's only happened a few times. This one right here, that was the bottom in that bear market. And this one right here. And this one right here. So most likely, you would look at where money flow is. You'd look at, the state of everything. Fed is very ruthless. It doesn't look like they're going to stop raising interest rates anytime soon. So it looks like, that we're not going to be bottoming out just yet. We also haven't hit the 200 weekly moving average. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, 200. You got to look at it on the weekly to really see. Another reason why we're probably not bottomed out yet. Right around there. I think we could hit it in a few months. So yeah, and bottom out, it's going to get boring. 22, 23K in a few months or something like that. Most likely. Worst case scenario, a little bit lower. Maybe 17K, 18K over there. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. That's for Bitcoin. So another thing to look at, for when we're going to bottom out, I like to look back on the 3-day. This was 2018 on the 3-day. That, look how deep we were. We were at the same place with the money flow. However, 2014, where did you bottom out here? You got really deep. Look how deep you got. We're right here right now, November to January. So about 2 months. That'd bring us to the beginning of August, approximately, where we could bottom out. So that maybe once this gets really deep is when we're really bottomed out. Your VWAP's curving down here in the 3-day. That's a bit more bearish too. So this could bring us down. We could, be bouncing around, next place bouncing around 25, 24 for next month or two. And then we finally wick down to, 22 or something. So you could bottom out like that. Could be more of a situation like over here. Look, this is where it gets annoying. That's where, this is where you come down, maybe you bounce off here. Then you come back up to 35. Then in August, September or something, you finally bottom out over here, and then you come back up. That's definitely doable. And then, you rally up in probably mid 2023. You could rally back up to 50K from there. Nice double. Something like that. Maybe even 60K in 2023. I have a feeling 2023 may be a decent year. Kind of like 2019 was, something like that, where Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, but, we're basically bottomed out. So yeah. 633 daily. This could be, it didn't get to be a blood diamond, but the way this trigger wave is, this could have been a blood diamond. That's, it's kind of like this one almost. I'm surprised it wasn't. Maybe it's just not close enough to the zero line, but that's a bad red dot right there. That's not a good red dot. Some good curvature here. More your bullish case in 12-hour. 10-hour, I don't even, most likely in a bear market area that we're seeing right now, something like this would be most probable. Good, oil is king. Yeah, something like this. That would make, if we did something, this would be interesting, something like here. And then you rally up in, I don't know, towards the end of the month, not this high, probably not, but maybe 35. Then you come down towards July, August. So we're due for a range bound type of deal, kind of like what we saw over here, what I was talking about, or a little bit like this. This is kind of just straight down from 48 here, really just straight down from there. So we're due to bounce around a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. Your 4 hour, very choppy, but looks like it wants to come deep into the red again. So it's a bit more bearish for next week. Next week outlook is a bit more bearish. Your 2 hour, bit more bearish for next week. 2 week outlook is a bit more bearish there. And then you're kind of just range bound here. I mean, there's not really, we're due for some. If you got a situation like here to this, that's a 34% correction. So from when we get that, that money flow crossover, 34%. That's very low. I don't think you're going to go that low, but we're due to test this area some more, I would think. Hourly, kind of the same deal. Money flow generally coming out. And what's happening right now, I mean, red dot, little head and shoulders, I guess, if you trade that way. Money flow generally coming out in a lower time frame is a bit more bearish. And weekends are generally slower anyway. So, yeah. Ethereum. Kind of the same deal. Obviously, in these instances, as the Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, you would expect got to draw more fib levels or something. The next big area is probably 15, 1600 around there. But yeah, let's see. You're starting to get deep in the money flow in the 3-day. So, the main thing with Ethereum, yeah, it's kind of like this. This would make for a case of us bottoming out, let's say October to December, about 2 months, so around August. You're getting very close to it around August. And yeah, it would be just like this if we come deeper into the red in the 3-day. Your weekly still is not in the red, so it took, once you crossed over into the red here, probably by the time you saw it was around here, August to December, so quite a few months before you really bottomed out there. Pretty bearish. Your 6-day, this would probably be a better, better estimate here. So kind of from this area, October to December, about 2 months. So 2 months. August is what we're looking for now. Could have happened quicker and we got our capitulation wick down sooner, which is what I was thinking would probably happen. But no, it seems like we got a few more months of carnage. And I feel like oil will continue to do well during those 2 months. We'll talk about oil in a minute because it's always good to keep an eye on something that just continues to rise and look for places to know when to get out. So yeah, daily deep in the red. I could see it going even deeper though, especially for Ethereum. Some of these time frames are 12 hours more the bullish case. That could bring us up a bit, probably back up to 1900. 8 hour about to print a green dot. 4 hour going out with the VWAP, pretty neutral on this, but just generally in the red here. And your 2 hour getting deep into the red, not deep, but choppy on the 3 hour. Ethereum's weird right now. It's hard to really derive much out of this, but it's a weekend sideways environment. So curving upward on your 30-minute. It's a weekend. It'll probably just roll over. Yeah, we're not really seeing any money flow crossovers right now on ETH, so it's an interesting time with ETH. But if history is any indication, we're going to continue down as Bitcoin dominance rises up. We're close to our low here for ETH. Bitcoin's a bit higher above it, so yeah. Where could this end up? I mean, where could this end up if you're going? It's not going to be probably half of this percentage to the bottom or something, half of from here to here. So instead of 64%, you come down another 30% or something, 34 or 32%. 1300, possible. I think there is an argument to make about keeping the previous bull market high, though, around 1500 or what was it, 1400. There is an argument to make around keeping 1400. I think that's definitely probable, or at least testing it. So yeah, because ETH is not what it was back here. This ETH was like a Cardano back then. It's a lot bigger now, a lot more trustworthy. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. That's Ethereum. Let's see the chat real quick. What's up, guys? It was King. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Smash the like button. And yeah, let's move on. So we looked at Bitcoin, Ethereum. So yeah, let's look at oil next. So it's getting to the point where probably people are starting to FOMO. The thing with FOMOing is sometimes it works. This is the big point, around $120. Really what you want to look for this, and what I think may happen is you peak out around August, September when Bitcoin bottoms out, then you come back down. At this point, you're probably going to get something like this. A nice bearish div wall, money flow starts to come down. That would probably be it. You'd be up this high. That's probably the most of the end of this rally. You'll probably consolidate for a while and then start to come down, I guess, unless things get really crazy. So in terms of oil, next couple months. You got a couple months, I would say. In terms of commodities doing well, and that's probably yeah, it could go on towards the end of the year. The other thing to look at, let's look at this with turn the classical music down a little bit. Let's look at Bitcoin. And this is worth looking at definitely a lot because, let's look at, I don't know, a 6-day for this. We look at on our, let's look at 2013. So the first peak was in April. And the second peak was in November. What was our peaks, for in this cycle? The first peak was in April and the next peak was in November. Wow, that's kind of crazy how much it's followed. That was, if you were just betting this is going to be exactly like 2013, you would have got out exactly, pretty close to the top here. Pretty close to the top here. So when did we bottom in that cycle? It was January. So I don't think it would be kind of too crazy, too good to be true if you just bottom at the same time. But January would bring us out to here. If we come that low, you get deep on your 6-day in the red around there, it would be probably half of the, I would say in terms of the correction from there to there, it'd probably be half of this. So let's say 30% down from our little local top up here, 30% down, 30, 40 maybe. 30% down would bring you to a perfect 22K. And given, we just look at the pattern. I mean, this back here was kind of more choppy sideways, and you just got that nice drop down. So easily could just keep our previous bull market high of 20K, bounce off of, where would we bounce off of? Let's go on the weekly 200-week moving average. You could kind of bounce off of there, maybe even 23 at that point, especially if it gets choppy. If you have a situation like this, it's just like that, it would probably, you draw the circle, September, it would be earlier. I think it's going to be earlier. I don't think it's going to drag on until January, but probably the worst case it would. So yeah. VWAPs coming down in 3-day and 2-day are very bearish. So let's look at, we looked at oil. I talked to you about what I thought about oil. And I think it's going to be kind of the same thing with S&P as Bitcoin. This is our little relief rally. You're hitting off of a fib level. You're getting your blue triangle, means we're in a reverse here. Kind of like that. So I think that's going to make us go back down. Maybe towards the end of the month we come back down. Then after that, what happens? Well, we're due to be a little bit boring, a little bit choppy. You could come right back up in July. Then after that, what happens? You can come right back down. Could be like this. This is a big point, 350. So you get to 350 in mid-September. Say Bitcoin's at 22K at that point, maybe even lower. That's a nice 27% dump from the all-time high. Now, let's look at history. If we do come down 27%, what was this? Probably 20%. We haven't really had a correction more than 20%. So 28% would bring us, or 26%, 25 or whatever. It would be enough to really scare a lot of people. And it would definitely make for a recession if we're like basically in a recession right now almost. 27, and if you look at, the history of recessions or whatever, I mean, 20, that's 48, wow. 22, 23, something like, could be something like that. See, you're bouncing around, and you come up 23. Then you recover, so it's not as bad as a recession as 2008. Contrary to popular belief, a recession doesn't have to be that bad. It'd be unlikely that history repeats 2 times in a row, giving us a 50% dump all the way down, especially with inflation and everything. So I could see it coming down there. We come back up, gets choppy, and then you get around here, very deep in your 2-day money flow. Probably the same thing on the 3-day, very deep here. And that makes for kind of like this level a nice bottom. That's what we see a lot of times. Or, yeah, this is 08, so I don't think it would go that low, but it would probably make for a nice bottom. Also, the other thing to look at, the weekly. It's been in the green for a while. This would, if you come down to this general area 350, that would be well over enough to bring us into the red here for historically a pretty nice buying opportunity. So go to monthly. Well, let's see. We just confirmed a red X right there. And you're pretty high up in the green. If you repeat that pattern, you'd come up more. But I think, you know, these red X's here, they typically mean the bottom. You know, there it did. There it did. There. That was a blood diamond. Never mind. But that one. However, you come back to recessions. No. So I think we may be due for one that brings us a little bit lower, like this one. And I think this could bring us down to 350 for a nice buying opportunity at that point. Although the thing is too, like if we look at, you know, how long some of these take, yeah, it would still, you know, September, you could still get to that point. That would be a nice decline. So yeah, and it would make sense to come down, you know, a little bit lower there. I don't know if you'd lose, if you'd come into the, you may come into the gray a little bit with these, you know, you may come with these EMAs into the gray, but the thing is, especially in the monthly, I mean, by the time you really got into the gray, you're almost at the bottom here. That's a good call. Yeah, that's an interesting call too, because yeah, as soon as you get into the gray, really, you're getting close. You know what I mean? It's when you have a couple blocks in the gray, you're getting very close here on the EMA ribbons. So that's a big, yeah, that's a big thing right there. That could, you'll see that towards the end of the year. Yeah, I don't know how these move. I haven't studied them enough, but yeah, let's look at the chat real quick. Boeing, yeah, Boeing I think could rally a little bit more. Yeah, I was talking about Boeing. Let's look at Boeing. It was a trade in the mix. Well, now kind of a call out in the exclusive Discord about Boeing. If you guys are interested in the exclusive Discord, I'll link in the description below where I give some of my trade entries, stop losses, take profits, exclusive TA on mainly crypto, stocks too as well. So check that out. Link in the description below if you're interested. Not right 100% of the time, but we had some really good calls in there. A lot of people have really liked it. So yeah, main thing with Boeing, monthly in the red. Nice bounce off of there. Weekly, you know, bullish div from here to here. I think you could get up a little bit higher here. I think you can get up to, I mean, it is $80 billion market cap. I think you could come up to maybe 100. If you come up another 20-30%, 160 is a big point. 160 I'm looking at, and that could happen in August or something in the next month or two. If the market continues to go down, which I think it might though, then this won't be as good. But sometimes some of these stocks could definitely outperform the S&P for a while. So that's one of the ones I've been looking at. If you're up an excessive amount right here, I mean, we are hitting a little bit of resistance. If you got in right down, you know, 120 or something, let's just see that in the daily bars. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this a couple days ago. Yeah, I mean, if you're way up on options or whatever, maybe take a little bit of profits. I don't know. Hey guys, so we looked at oil, we looked at Boeing. It's like a real estate a little bit. So everybody, you know, everybody's heard about people in real estate, you know, outbidding one another. I think that's pretty much over. So we're seeing a lot of signs that, you know, this little rally could have hit the top. So you had this was basically the top here. You know, in hot markets, you know, like Miami or other, you know, Florida or other places, it's not really reflecting it. I think it will pretty soon though. So yeah, let's draw a fib level. Let's draw something to go by. Nice bounce off of there. But, you know, you got your money flow coming out there. Your monthly, you know, you didn't get a div yet, but money flow is just generally coming out of this, you know, for the last few years here. Looks like you're due to come down a bit. 3-day, you know, historically, every time we've been in the red here, it's a decent buying opportunity. But I do think you're due to come a little bit lower. And I could see it coming down, you know, if you bounce off of this and then August, September, you come down to about 50 bucks. And I think that would be pretty happy with what the Fed wants it to be at, because that's a realistic, realistic run up kind of. It would bring it back to 2019 though. That's the thing. I don't know if you'd come back down that low in terms of price, but I mean, how volatile is this? 40%. So this is, if you 25% correction is big. I mean, anytime right now is probably not the worst time to start looking, but yeah, I think you can come down a bit lower here. 2 days coming back in the green. There are, jumps here, but money flow generally coming out. I just don't see, I've heard stories of people outbidding, $100,000 on a property that the asking price is 500 or 600 on. That's insane. I just don't see those people winning. Usually whenever you see people doing that, it's time to get out. So, yeah. But real estate's not the most volatile thing, really. So, even if you bought right now, I mean, how much did it really go down even during the Great Recession? 30, 40% maybe? Like, that's not even that much, in terms of actual home values. Natural gas. I've not looked at natural gas. I don't even know which one to look at. I think this is the one everybody looks at. Yeah. So weekly, you're not getting the money flow, coming down yet. I think you really got to see the money flow coming down to really see the real pullback. You are getting the bearish div, so it might be the place. Yeah, the 3-day does not look good because you got money flow trying to kind of come out here. Not coming out here yet in the 2-day. So for this, I mean, you may have a little bit of relief in the short term, but I do think, let's look at the monthly here. Yeah, I do think you got a little bit more to go here. I don't know, in terms of how this is, maybe you could repeat this and go up to this general area, $54. I don't know if this will just continue to rally straight up. I do think I think it's probably the same thing as, it's going to follow regular oil, obviously. Something like here, August, September, and then you'll see the money flow start to come down. You'll see maybe one more, you get a nice, I don't know, something like this, 40, a nice bearish div, and then you'll finally come down. I'm looking more at the OSU, but natural gas, let's see. These time frames would tell you, if you made a killing on these, it's time to shave off some profits, I would say. How much is this up? Let's be real. So November, October 2020, $8. So you would have got a 270% increase, and you're already hitting major points. The next major area is probably 52. So I can see that happening if you repeat this pattern, August, September, this area, that's a huge area to look to get out. It's just crazy how much this went down. Probably, what was its high? 08, and then still down. Wow, still down. Yeah, so this is volatile. This is even more gambling than buying Bitcoin. This is way more than even most cryptos. So yeah, so we looked at that. Chinese index fund. So I don't know if you guys are too familiar, if you've been listening to Ray Dalio. He's basically big on gold right now, commodities, and Chinese index, other countries that don't have the same issues that the United States has. China's one of them. So there's a few different things to look at here. Your EMAs are turning gray, kind of like the 08 one right here on this fund, and it's generally just been sideways. The fact that you're in the red here means you're getting close to a bottom, probably. And the weekly is getting deep in the red, so it's looking kind of bottomy. I do think it'll probably follow, what's likely to happen. What I think it'll likely follow, probably not go down as low as COVID, over here, but 2020, but somewhere close to it probably. And we could let's draw a fib level, so we have something to go by. I don't think it'll go that low, but maybe we go like this. This would probably be better. Yeah, maybe one back down a bit more here, maybe a little bit lower, high 30s or something, and then it could do well. Not the crazy amount of volatility on this, so yeah, but kind of hold off for now. There's a bunch of these. They're always cool to look at. Let's look at gold. So gold, it does look similar to the 1970s. You know, that's what we've been looking at, especially on the really high time frames. I mean, you got to go to like the 3-month for this, but look at the 3-month October 1970. I believe you got, and I'd be very surprised if this happens, but from here to 1980 over a 10-year period, this is a 20x essentially, which is crazy. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to get that much, but within the next few years, I could see you getting up to this area, 3K or something, next few years. Monthly is getting, I mean, the thing with this is it's not a, let's see, is it? It's not a bearish div, but you got money flow coming out and you got the red dots. I mean, the volatility just isn't as high on this as like we would like it to be. I think it could, towards the end of the year, do relatively well. You come up like this, make a new all-time high towards the end of the year around here. So that might be a nice trade to look at. 40% maybe. It would probably take longer though. I don't know if you'd come up that quickly. Just because it's just so stagnant. Your daily, I mean, historically, and this it's just so sideways, but every time you're in the red on the daily, you typically come up at least you jump up a little bit, you know what I mean? Here, this one was good too. It almost kind of looks like this one because you got high, really high in the green, they came down to red, and the next point, bam, came right up. So you could repeat kind of that. This would probably go on into 2023. Repeat that and then go up to at least this one, I would say 25 maybe. You can do well-time high there. You're probably not going up that high though. So yeah. Boeing we looked at. Yeah. Lucid I want to take a look at because that's done well kind of in circumstances. There's going to be one Tesla competitor that makes it. I think this might be one of them, at least one. But I do think you may have one last leg down. You may come down a bit, and then August, September seems like the good buying point. Come down to $10 or something maybe. That's what I'm thinking. $30 billion market cap, 15 billion maybe better. And good old Hood, we like to look at Hood. And no bueno. $5 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion market cap for this? Maybe. In the next few months, yeah. Around here, $6 or something. Maybe. And that would be a nice, what correction from its, it goes down to $6, 92%. Already went down 90%, so yeah. 94%, yeah. Let's see here. Good old Tesla. 3-day looks like it's going to come into the red. The next big place for this is really, if you lose, which you're probably going to lose the high fives, I think. Here's a nice bottom. If we could get in at 420, something 420, of course. I bet Elon will post if it bottoms out there. That'll be funny. But I get August, 400, the low fours. That's a bargain. That's a big bargain. And you're going to be probably relatively deep in the red by there in September, October. That's a big buying opportunity. There's always certain stocks that hold up well in recessions. Tesla, the big boys of their times do. Let's look at Amazon in '08. That held up pretty well, compared to everything else. Right now we're hitting big levels for a lot of these, so it would make a lot of sense. Bottom out around 17 or something in September. That's what I'm kind of thinking for Amazon. For that's on sale. That's probably at least 50% down there. 55% correction for Amazon, huge. But this looks so. Let's look at '08 for this. This did not even. You would think this was '08. No, this held up well. 65%, compared to, held up pretty well. It didn't outperform the S&P, but held up well for a stock like this back then. Once it goes into the red, for this to come into the red here, that's probably a pretty big correction. Probably another. Yeah, I don't think it will happen, but yeah, you'd have to come down another 60%. This is major recession numbers right here, 50%. This area, right there. Let's see. DYX, yeah. That's another thing that's good to look at too. Well, I don't look at it as much, but that's another thing right now that wouldn't be a bad idea to look at. So, right here, what we want to look at for this, and kind of, this is what I think is going to happen here, DYX. Just like, when everything else, something like that would be big. 114, October, August or something. Come up to here, something like this. This would bring you up, and then you'd start to curve down with the money flow. You'd get your bearish div right there, and that marks the top. That's the next big point for this, kind of up here. This was, a 1, so we get to that point. Big indication we're almost done with it, the rally. This is one of the more bullish cases for Bitcoin and stocks. Bearish div and money flow is coming out here. So one of the reasons why we could be bottoming out. I'm not entirely convinced yet, though, just based on how the other charts look. But yeah, getting close to having a money flow crossover here. Last one didn't work out too well. Maybe this one will work out better. But I do think that come down a bit more with the stocks and everything for next. This would probably be enough to like keep the Fed happy. You know what I mean? Coming up to this point, because it's like, oh, it's at the dollar's at the same power as a 1. That's that's enough assurance that we're okay, that there's nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Matic. So thing with altcoins is, as long as we kind of stay in this bear trend and Bitcoin dominance rising trend, Matic, some of these cryptos could go down quite a bit more. Your weekly's about to get their green dot. I think it's going to have to be one more, weekly green dot before we really bottom out. Hate to be the bringer of bad news, but I think this could bottom out. Probably a lot of the altcoins, in the next few months, worst case scenario, probably could be up to 40%, 50% from where we are. 50% would be 30 cents. So 30 cents is big. Don't want to be, in terms of this getting deep, where would this bring us if this gets real deep and you bottom out, August or something? Probably the next big point is 40 cents, 30 cents. So that's probably where you could end up, assuming this Bitcoin dominance keeps going up, assuming the Fed continues to be ruthless. So yeah. The other thing too, a lot of the altcoins are, I believe XRP, your weekly, it seems like you got to go a little bit deeper into the red for this to really be done. And, 30%, 25 to here, 30 cents, maybe even worse. 40, 50% corrections would be, 23 cents, 20 cents. So, yeah, 2020 numbers, it's crypto. XRP, they obviously got the lawsuit and a lot of other things. And the market cap is pretty big for an altcoin that's been in a lawsuit for this long. It does have it stayed up well, considering everything. What are some other altcoins we could look at? AVAX. Your weekly. The problem with this is you're not even in the red yet on the weekly. That's the problem. The 6 day, it looks like you're due to, you're going to get that green dot, but I feel like you may come down, a bit more to $10 or something here. And that would be your nice 90, 90 plus correction in a bear market correction. And you bottom out when? In a couple months probably. Yeah, August, September. Come down a bit lower here. So yeah. What's up, guys? If 25K was the bottom, will the next bear market fill the gap from 15 to 20K? No, probably not. There's still a CME gap at 9K that everyone was talking about, September 2020. That's never been filled. Maybe it'll get filled. I doubt it, though. I highly doubt it. They don't all have to be filled. But yeah. What else do we want to look at here? Tron. Problem here is that weekly on a lot of things. It could be one of the ones where you get into the red in the weekly here and then that's it. And where would that bring us to? That could be a pretty bad, that could be I don't know if it'll come down that much, but it could be at least a 60%. It is an altcoin. Yeah, if you lose this area, there ain't much. You could buy, yeah, you could come down, man. I hate this to be the bearer of bad news, but you could come down a lot here. Altcoins are the riskiest right now because of this. Let me show you what. Bitcoin dominance. I mean, this is primed for probably 60%. I think we could get to 50%, 50 to 60% in the next few months, really. It'll keep going up after we bottom out too, because altcoins will just get obliterated while this goes up. So I think, you could bottom out in August or something around here, 55% or something, next month or two. And then as we bottom out and we're starting to recover at the end of the year, 60%. And 60% is a big number because look, this was, where was it? Yeah, right around, we bottomed out in December, 60%. It's a big area, so could get this high when you bottom out too if it goes on till October. We want it to be quicker. I mean, if you look at what I want to look at right now to show you guys is the monthly. And the monthly right here, kind of what we're trying to calculate here is, how many bars is it? How many monthly red bars before you're bottomed out? So it's 10 bars here. 10 bars would bring us all the way to October. How many was it in 2013? 13 bars, so a little bit longer. 2017 just was quicker, all the way up, all the way down. It was just a quick cycle. So this could go, if you go 13 bars, or not measuring from the wrong area, but 13 bars, it wouldn't be that bad. It would be December, so it wouldn't be that bad. Cycle lengthening theory is just the bear markets lengthen. That would be the worst. But yeah, as of right now, nothing really happening. Do I prefer privacy coins or projects like Atom? I like both of them. Let's see. Zcash is my favorite, probably the favorite privacy coin right now. Held up somewhat well considering the problem here is, this don't look good. I mean, money flow coming out in the weekly. Maybe September, October, you come deep into the red here. Where would that bring you though? You're probably going to come down to like $50 or something here. You come down, a lot of these could come down another 40, 50%, 45, 46 right there. Yeah. $50. Major buy opportunity though. So yeah, I mean, there's a small possibility. We're bottomed out here and we're kind of home free. And the market, increases, but I'm not really buying it. I think we need a little bit more carnage. Elon Musk is very bearish. The outlook on the market right now, just not what we like to see. I'm not going to look at too many altcoins because a lot of them just look the same. I mean, but let's see. Shiba Inu. It seems pretty inevitable you're going to get to this point or this point down here. That'd probably be like everything else. 30 to 40% correction. Probably wait, I'm going to say probably once you get a bullish div on your 6-day or your weekly, that's where those are very strong. That's where you're probably confident you bottomed out here. Okay, so we already had a 90% correction. 92 you could come down to. I know Cardano went down to... Yeah, I don't think you'd go that low, but probably around here. The day Shiba is over. Yeah, Shiba. Let's see. Will Bitcoin bottom out in September? Let's do August through October. Make it a little bit more. Make it a little bit more, more vague, I guess. Get more people to say yes to agree with me. But yeah. Warren Buffett on inflation. These businesses do the best. Commodities, yeah, utilities, railroads. Oh, utilities, that's not what you want. Oh, we looked at a lot of stuff so far. We can look at SPX. Let's look at this. Because we can go really far back on this. Yeah, when you get that red X after it's 3 bars, then you let's see if there's a situation where, because you got to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red bars before the red X. Has that ever happened before? 1, 2, 3. That's 4. That marked the bottom in 81. That's interesting. That's never 1, 2, 3. That is interesting. Nah. We're going back all the way to the 50s now. I don't know if it's ever gonna 1, 2, that's 3. This was the Depression. Doesn't even, we don't even have wicks back then. That was only 84% down. That was more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 20. No, none of that. That's interesting. Trying to think like when. Now we're getting to the 1800s here. No. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so 1881. 1881 is the last time this happened. Oh, this is a nice clickbait. Hasn't happened in, how many years ago? That's 150 years, about 140 years. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And this turned out, you rallied up, and then you came back down. Okay. What was this correction in 1881? 35%. It was volatile back then, too. I didn't even know. 46%. That was a big correction in 1873. It was not a good period of time from 80. Oh, wow. That just went down for that many years. Jeez. That was not a fun time to be investing. Just went straight down for years. 1, 2, you can't really compare that data to now. But wow. I don't know. My gut instinct, it comes down a little bit farther, and then you kind of home free. I wonder what you guys are saying about that. You guys are probably like, what? Stellar gave 500 million in lumens to buy X and XCN. Is Stellar even still relevant? Stellar, I think, is going to be a dead project. I don't know. This. Oh, it just came out. Yeah, it's hard to do a TA and something that just came out. I mean, you got a bearish div and money flow coming down. This looks like just a pump and dump. Yeah, I don't know. This looks like probably coming back down to here. Could keep going. I mean, these are the toughest ones to predict, but it seems like a pump and up to me. I'd probably get out of it based on the blood diamond. Let's look at Stellar, though. I mean, I don't... Yeah, some of the projects that didn't really perform well in the in the bull market, really. I mean, it didn't even get up to its 2018 high, so it's not really trending up at time. I mean, they look more bottomy, but still, yeah, it was. Well, no, last time this happened, you came to. It could be, yeah. This could be interesting. So it could be another, yeah, 60% down from this low. So it's really, they would become a dead project at that point probably because it's just doing nothing. Some of these will probably die out. I think Stellar's getting desperate. I don't know what they're doing buying this stuff. It could be pump and dump. I don't know. Waves. Waves kind of did somewhat of a... That was pumped and dumped recently. Now it's just down, yeah. Weekly coming out. I mean, you got that. I think you're going to need... it will be a bullish div on the weekly at that point. But I think you got to come a little bit deeper before you're finally bottomed out of here. I think you're going to end up... it's probably another... Yeah, it could be. I mean, this is very volatile. It could be around here. $2 or something before you bottom out. I think it's just a little bit of a bull trap. This jump. I think we're just going to come back down. But yeah. Ultra. Oh, yeah, same with this. I mean, it's probably, in terms of a bottom, given, it's probably 12 cents. It's probably another 50, 60% down for a lot of these. Yeah, and when would that happen? In a few months, you'd probably bottom out September, August, October, that area. How'd you guys do with the poll? Okay, so it's kind of close here. This guy is so bearish, man. Man, you got the grizzly bears. You're probably living in Wyoming. Grizzly bears everywhere. It's just so bearish. Bearish forever. We got money, we got inflated, we got other things that could eventually bring us up. But yeah. Maybe you're right. I think you've been saying what, 12K? What's your prediction? 12K, I think. You've been saying real low. It's like how the short, NASDAQ is looking. Yeah, now would probably be... Yeah, this would probably be the time to look at this. Somebody told me these are kind of programmed to go down over time, but yeah, I think this may be... 12-hour don't look too good, but... It's kind of that general pattern. Every time we're coming into the red here, see? You're almost to the bottom, and then you come back up. Obviously really risky, but yeah. By options on this, that's how you'd make. Yeah, if you map this, let's map this out a little bit. Because what's the equivalent of leverage trading? You're not going up that high, but probably not. Maybe here to here. So make for a little bit. Yeah, okay. So... Yeah, if you're betting, betting on a September, you'd probably buy options with an expiration of October with I forget how somebody's got to tell me how you select the strike price, based on what, if anybody knows options, what, if I want to bet this is going to happen, by October or something, we're going to hit $70 or whatever, by October, what option should I buy? What should my, I know my expiration date should be in October probably, but what should my strike price be? That's what I need to know here. Gregory, no, I have not heard of him. I gotta look him up though. Oh, it's a privacy coin, okay. But yeah. Let's look at the Bitstamp chart. Is anything happening? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, just that sideways, boring weekend volatility. We're not really near any spiral lines. It's either gonna, usually, you get this weird stuff on the weekends. I think based on the 2 hour, you're most likely gonna come down. We already went red into 2 hour once. It didn't confirm. VWAP's trying to come down here. So yeah. Four hour just wants to curve around too. 2 hour coming down. Would I buy more what right now? So the main technique, I mean, for long term, especially for Bitcoin, is when you're in the red on the weekly. That's always a good place historically. Those are rare buying opportunities long term. So if you just DCA in, you want to have a plan to essentially DCA in for the next, let's see, December 08 to February. So the next 3 months, I would say, keep DCAing for the next 3 months. Every Monday, because Monday is statistically the cheapest day. I believe Mondays and Sundays are cheaper. So if you have 10 grand, I would suggest, or let's say 12 grand. Let's make it easy. 12 weeks is 3 months. Put $1,000 in every Monday. If you already put in a lot in this area, maybe you want to hold off and wait to see if we test the 200-week moving average, then put a nice amount once we get here in a few months. So yeah, we've confirmed, the weekly. We've confirmed the weekly red X. So look, 1, 2, 3. DCA in for the next 3 months would probably be a good idea. Also on the, really every time it's happened too. I mean, 1, 2, 3, you're still, even if you're buying at 11K, you're still making a killing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is a strategy, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 months from here. So you want to get in for the next 3 months. That's what I would say. DCA in, especially Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin dominance is probably going to still go up. So just focus on getting into Bitcoin for the next, never financial advice, obviously, but for the next 3 months, based on the red X here, focus getting into Bitcoin, I would say. What did Trump sell? He never had Bitcoin, I don't think. Anyway, guys, I think that's a good way to wrap it up. Hope you guys got something out of this stream. So, guys, if you're interested in my trading course, where I go over risk management, trading psychology, all the things I think you theoretically need to know to be a profitable trader in this game. Link in the description below. We're doing a discount code this month, so check it out. And yeah, in the course, a lot of people have really liked it. It goes over why I think the majority of people fail in this game as well. So I think it's going to help you guys out a lot and save you a lot of headaches if you're just getting into trading. Check that out. If you guys are interested in my exclusive Discord, a link in the description below. It's in my trade entries, stop losses, and take profits. Not right 100% of the time, but we've had some really, really good trades in there. Just exclusive TA. I do long-term advice too. Some stuff with stocks as well, and commodities as well a little bit. But yeah, check that out. If you're interested in creating a new BITGET account, creating a new FAIRDESK account, links in the description below. Use my link in the description below. It's the same promo pretty much every YouTuber gives you. So if you want to support the channel, go check that out. Market Cipher, link in the description below. Use my code and my link down below for a discount. If you want to do a one-on-one session with me, it's through the Market Cipher Academy. Link in the description below as well. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. All right. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.